Well, I probably need not mention this, but I remember the quote of Victor Hugo, who said, "No power on earth can stop the idea whose time has come." And we are staying in the digital age. It is everywhere. We sleep, eat, drink technology. Digital literacy happens to be something which is part and parcel of our daily life. So this happens to be one of the very important topic. We also need to understand as educators, because this is specifically K to 12 group, and we have an amazing set of speakers here to have tons of experience behind them. They have seen all the seasons, they have seen variety of technological tools, they have seen the ill effects, they have seen the strengths, they have seen the weaknesses, they have seen the opportunities, and they have also seen the threats of technology. So let me start the conversation, and I have just a small request to all my panelists, because the organizers are time and again telling us to be on time. So we have 35 minutes. I request you to be very crisp so that our audience have amazing takeaways. And I promise you, when you're going to listen to these wisdom nuggets, you all will be amazed and will have actual takeaways when you go back home. Well, let me start my first question, and I shall be introducing the panelists also while I am showing this to say one time. We have Dr. Sneha Nalla, Director, Nalla Malla Reddy Foundation School, Hyderabad with us. And ma'am, my question to you is, what does a truly effective digital literacy infrastructure looks like in our schools? And beyond just providing tablets and smart boards, what are the essential non-negotiables according to you, which actually makes all school promoters, principals understand?
Very good morning to all of you. What digital technology, whatever we are using, right? We have the smart boards and everything, whatever we are using in the schools. Apart from this, what is most required is to make the students involved in that, first of all, involved in the digital technology. We have right here, we have the adult tinkering labs and the school innovation cells. So, to creating the idea of thinking, first of all, making getting into their own idea and building up something is most important. So for that we have the schools, as we are in the school, we are implementing something like the ideathons, which we are encouraging them, as well as the hackathons, which are a necessity of today, because what ultimately is required is to solve the sustainable development goals. So the students have to be tuned towards bringing out a solution for these sustainable development goals through the use of technology. So use of technology also, something like we had these Earth Days and all these things, whatever we celebrate in the school, using technology and celebrating this may be a better solution. And the science exhibitions, whatever we are conducting, maybe what we are introducing into the students, the robotics and all these things. So at last, whatever it is, at last, the competitive spirit which develops may definitely improve the technological usage of the students, first of all. So apart from usage of the smart boards or whatever, the robotic kits, whatever we have. So making every student use these things, making every student giving them an opportunity to make their own models is much important for today.
Thank you, Dr. Sneha. Well, he's the managing director of Shemrock and Shemford group of schools, a very witty and very knowledgeable panelist amongst us. And Amol, अपनी इस style में, if you could help the audience and share practical challenges which normally somebody is facing. And you know, India is a very diverse country. You have tier 1 cities, tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. And something which is the best practice in a particular context might not be the best practice in some other context. So could you please tell us that how do you think these practical challenges can be overcome? Thank you. Thank you. For volume. Can you increase the volume of the mic, please?
Hello. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I think for me, digital literacy is not about hardware at all. I think we are getting this all wrong. हम लोग fascinate हो रहे हैं. Smart board से, AI से, वो डर रहे हैं teachers क्या हो रहा है. I think it's about the way of teaching children how to use technology to solve real life problems. It's a tool out there, and can it solve real life problems? That's a basic simple thing for it. Yes, India is very diverse. What works in Tier 1 will not work in Tier 3, and that's the basic problem of EdTech in India, because जितने भी solutions बाहर पड़े हैं, वो सारे नोएडा, गुड़गांव और बैंगलोर बने हैं. And they जहाँ पर हम सुल्तानपुर पहुँच जाते हैं, they fail. वहाँ पर सर cloud service, वहाँ cloud service मतलब बारिश होने वाला है. Cloud service बारिश है. So we are what the mistake we are all doing is we are taking solutions which are created out of a office in Cyber Hub, imposing it in a Tier 1 city and hoping it will trickle down to the rest of India. You don't know that. So that's it. And I think it's less about the technology, it's more about the people involved, especially the teachers. I think when government wants to announce some tech friendly हो गए, what they'll do is post smart class tablet बांट दिया, take a photo, बाद में photo आ गया. It doesn't make sense. वहाँ लाइट ही नहीं है. I've seen a school जहाँ teacher had put a दुपट्टा over a smart board and I asked ये क्या है? कहते हैं बच्चे ना शीशे के अंदर बाल बनाते रहते हैं on a smart board because it's behaving like a mirror. वो मिट्टी पड़ रही है उस पर और उसकी प्रेस रिलीज हो चुका है, वो स्मार्ट क्लास बन गया है and all that. I don't think we're doing it right. I think we need to invest more on the people, their mindset, whether it's parents, it's teachers, give them to understand. They're scared. Teachers are scared right now. कि क्या है, काम बढ़ गया, ये भी सीखना पड़ेगा. I think we're doing it all wrong. We're going with a hammer and looking for solutions to solve. Technology आ गई, अब लगाओ क्लास में. अरे पहले करना क्या? What is the goal? What kind of human beings do we want to create? Children who are critical, who are empathetic. We need the people who will be employable will be those who can do what AI cannot. Empathy, critical thinking, creativity. ये सब पढ़ाओ. ये मत पढ़ाओ कि ये even computer science curriculum digital literacy के नाम पे क्या करा रहे हैं? A question: what does F1 do in Excel? आपको मालूम है क्या? मुझे नहीं मालूम. Why are we teaching our children and judging our children even on computer technology? I think we got it all wrong. We have to start with the people, start with the goal in mind first, and then look at how do we reach the solution. अभी क्या solution लेके बैठे हैं, goal पता नहीं क्या है. So I think that's where I face practical challenges, that these solutions don't work in remote areas जहाँ पर light ही नहीं होती.
Then so it's the mindset, not the hardware. It is the people who matters. It is the child. Eventually, what are we expecting as outcomes of the child that matters? Very well said, Amol. And now this brings me to the next question to you from Praveen from the MBD group. And Praveen, then what do you feel is successful and scalable? And so cost is very, very important. So, and of course, a frugal model for continuous teacher upskilling, because Amol mentioned about teachers. So, if you please throw some light on this.
Good afternoon, all of you. So, I differ in few points from Amol. So, coming from MBD, so we work in nooks and corners of the country, whether it is a Baramulla in Kashmir or a place called Ghaziabad in Kerala. And we've seen teachers, especially and schools, adopting digital literacy now. And we also work in some remote parts of Africa, especially, you have to call it the way we have Jharkhand in India. So there are a couple of provinces in Africa where we so, I've seen students and teachers adopting technology. So it is not that there is a digital book, which we rightly pointed out, that students were combing their hair looking at the digital panel. However, there are schools, mid-sized schools, budget schools, who are adopting it and using it to their benefit. They've got a small TV, they've got one tab in a classroom, but they're trying to make every student participate with one single tab or one mobile phone that they need. Coming to so upskilling, we always talk about upskilling, and we have been harping about upskilling. Government has laid down lot many policies. However, implementation is a challenge. And here I would say that at some places infrastructure is not, but there are policies to implement that particular thing. So teachers कुछ भी अगर हम करते हैं तो सबसे मेजर पार्ट स्किलिंग में या एजुकेशन में टीचर्स का होता है. So if teachers are trained enough, or if teachers they can adopt technology well, they'll be able to disseminate it in the classroom. So first and foremost is training our teachers. As we see, AI adoption is happening at a very greater pace, and the students in Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, or any metro cities, our students are far more capable or far more advanced in technology as compared to people. So today, even at any point of time, if a teacher gives a homework or an assignment to a student, they come back the next 1 hour or 2 hours next, and all they do is refer to ChatGPT or any other AI tool, and everything is done from AI tool or ChatGPT. Over here, I would say that we need to impart training to the teachers. So 3 ways how we can make it frugal. One, there are multiple online digital assets that are available. The first is by Government of India, a Swayam portal, which have got 5 million teachers on their portal. Second, worldwide, you see Coursera. So majority of the universities, be it Harvard, be it MIT, they've got their courses, live courses, online courses available, free of cost on the Coursera platform. Third, British Council has got a digital platform for teachers where they can visit this free of cost and upskill themselves. So these are free tools that can be used by the teachers. Now, how do we ensure that teachers are using it effectively, or why should they use it? If we can break down, or if we can make a course plan for a teacher, the way we have a curriculum for a student for entire 1 year, whether it goes to science, maths, English. So there is a book, textbook. There are 30 chapters or 14 chapters that a student has to study throughout the year. If companies and government will make, so there are digital skilling courses. So if we can implement every student for one course and make it mandatory for a teacher to get to it in next 365 days, which are roughly 30 days, 240 days. And in those 30 days, if a teacher can go through a 35 hours course, I'm not talking about a course of 100 hours or 110 hours, but 35 hours.
As we come here, do you think the collaborative approach between a teacher and student would work?
Of course, it could work.
How would it work?
So teachers who are keen to learn, they can identify a student or students in the school which are techno students, and they can request that student to take them or browse them through what new technologies are there. What they should learn.
Schools are facing a challenge. Teachers are very fearful of technology. They say, I think we will be replaced.
So I'll give you a personal example. We used to implement smart classrooms in the school or computer CPU लगाकर आना. We have a customer support number जहाँ पे टीचर कॉल करके बोलता है कि यार मेरे स्कूल का सिस्टम काम नहीं कर रहा, आप आकर दो. And a technical engineer visited that school. First thing he saw that plug अच्छे से नहीं लगा. All he did was plug वापस लगाया, switch on किया, and started work. But add over there, if you look at post-COVID and pre-COVID, so post-COVID, you see majority of the teachers creating reels on their mobile. They're using WhatsApp, they're using Facebook, they're using platform like TikTok, and they're creating reels. So adoption of technology has happened in a very quick way. It's just that how they adopt it, they're already using tools. Now, as one of the government initiatives that came up last month was by Ministry of Skill Development. They've initiated a program called SOAR, S-O-A-R, Skilling for AI Readiness. There are courses for students, there are courses for educators. These are 1 hour, 2 hour.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this information. And now let me move to one of the very seasoned educator who is just sitting next to me. Madam Manju. She has been the former director and principal with Shemrock Group. Ma'am, you have seen all the seasons. You have seen create ambassador in Marutika, and you are seeing one company having multiple models. You see technology evolution, you see, and you know how children have been ahead of the school, the teachers have been doing. Now, when we are seeing all these children swimming in this ocean of information, now Manjula spoke about it, uh, there's a lot of dark web and all that, fake news, misinformation and all that, and every parent is scared, every teacher is scared that what is going to happen because they know much, much more than what we know. So, as somebody who has been in the education space for so long, what do you feel that we should do so that this pollution and this mindset can be changed and we are very alert as school promoters, as teachers, as parents?
A very good morning. Mr. Vats, first I'll address two people who were sitting, Amol ji and ma'am. I think it's very important, if I see it from a management point of view, it's very difficult whether we should have class board or we should have digital board in the classroom, because if you don't do it, it's like a two-edged sword. If you don't do it, then the parents complain that the other school has it and you do not have it. So I think it is very, very mindful for the management to make sure what decision they are supposed to make. And I think in this, they should involve all the stakeholders, which are teachers, parents, and students all together, and come to a decision. I feel technology is here to stay. We need digital classrooms, but we also need to sensitize our teachers that how they should map it effectively with the curriculum. Because I remember when we started digital classroom, as a principal, I used to tell my coordinator to give me a report, the hour of usage. I think it didn't work because the teachers were mindlessly using, the digital board. So I think it's very, very important how they use it, where they are supposed to use it. I think for that, like what Praveenji said, I think they need that kind of upskilling and training, I think, which is lacking in the schools these days. When you are talking about, information, I think it's very, very important that we have to teach not only our students, but also our teachers, and even principals, if I can say, because I have been in schools for 35 years, now I am into school audits, so I visit a lot of schools and do school audit. I have seen that right from the top, principals are not even aware. So I think it is very, very important that we first equip the principal, then we equip the teachers, and finally if the teachers are equipped, I think all what you are saying can be handled very well. Because a lot of time when we talk to the teachers, okay, हमें पता ही नहीं मैम इस situation को कैसे handle करना. Of course, there is a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. So I think here, critical thinking and digital literacy is extremely important. And we have to talk to the children. I think the connect between the teacher and the student is missing. अगर वो connect होगा तो बच्चे टीचर के पास जाएंगे अपनी चीजें बताएंगे discussion ही नहीं हो रहा. I think everything we want to brush it in the carpet. So I think we should invite people from outside, let them talk about social emotional learning, let them talk about cyber security, let them talk about what are the negative impacts if they are using this misinformation. And I think there should be a lot of debate, discussion, and there should be a lot of these clubs where the children can come in a non-threatening environment and have a discussion on it. Thank you.
So, three panelists did speak about one very, very important aspect. It's called teacher, and teacher. You bring technology, you bring devices, but somebody who has to be an interface between the humans, that is the teacher and the taught, is going to be this teacher only. And this teacher has to actually upskill herself, and that's where all the promoters, the principals, the management must understand that they need to invest their time in the teacher training and right kind of training. So this reminds me of something called the TAM model. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. This is called Technology Acceptance Model. You can Google it and find out it's a framework which is available. And this talks about the 5 steps to prepare your schools for technology integration. The first step is the perceived usefulness. The second one is perceived ease of use. That brings the attitude among the educator. And finally, this educator feels the need to use the technology because जब तक need नहीं arise होगा, nobody is going to do it. And finally, they start using it. So, thank you all of you for this beautiful input.
So Sachin, to add to what you are saying, there is also a framework called TRAP framework, which talks about where the information is coming. So you have to check the current status from where it is coming, what is the relevance, which authority it is
I
coming
like the word
from.
TRAP. Easy to remember now.
It's
Yeah, TRAP.
Is it accurate? You know, is it purposeful? और सबसे ज़्यादा फायदा उसका किसका हो रहा है? ये ढूंढना बहुत ज़रूरी है. I think that framework is important.
The audience, you have TAM framework and you have a CRAP framework. So you can adopt either of them. That's going to help you take multiple decisions and informed decisions. Now let me come to somebody who works in the early years a lot. Dr. Rathor, the founder of SANFORT group of schools. Dr. Rathor, my question to you is, in these early years, what and how do you think is the right way to begin digital literacy? And what precautions, like all people who work in this space should take into look at this?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Sachin, for asking such a wonderful question. So, whenever I go to different conferences, there is one question which is very common. At what age should the children allowed to access the digital content? तो अभी last conference थी franchise India की. In that conference, one person was behind me कि सर आप बताइए कि प्री स्कूल में शुरू करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए. Then I asked, what kind of decision parent take? At what age parent give the mobile phone to a child, not to a child? So I was sitting in Lucknow airport some days before in the lounge, and one mother was showing the video of a child of not less than 1 year. The moment the video stops, the child starts crying. So when the child of 1 year was allowed to access the content on the mobile phone, so we are no one to decide at what age the digital content would be allowed in the school.
Parents से पहले pollute किया.
हाँ, पहले से pollute. So see, I belong to that community, which is which are having different kind of problems we are handling. Today's parents who are जिन्होंने सोचा कि अच्छा बच्चे को स्कूल भेज दिया, अच्छे प्ले स्कूल भेज दिया तो हमारा काम कर. And we don't find good teachers at the same time. Parents जो careless है और टीचर्स जिनको केयर नहीं है कि वो अपनी स्किल्स को अपग्रेड करें. तो आउट ऑफ दैट वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट द गुड लॉट ऑफ द टीचर्स, ट्रेन देम. सो मोस्टली वी आर यूजिंग द टेक्नोलॉजी और डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म to skill our teachers, because we have our branches starting from Noida, and in a very small village in the UP, Chabroli, there is a pure village, or a village in the MP, we have a branch जहाँ पर फीस भी 700 रुपये मिलती है. तो we have to skill the teacher, because we cannot find good teacher, we cannot give good salaries where we are charging the 700 and 800 rupees from a student. How can we offer 25,000-30,000 rupees to the teacher because it will not be in economics. So in that case, what took initiative a few years ago, he created a platform where he used to take the training online. Physically we are doing lots of training, but online frequently every month we are doing training online. And twice in a year, every teacher has to pass a certain examination based on those trainings. Then only the teacher is allowed to continue in the school. So this is the kind of platform we have created for the teachers skill upgradation. And another part is parents. So I used to conduct parenting workshops several years back, maybe 7-8 years back. तो उसमें क्या होता था, यू यूज टू बुक कमानी ऑडिटोरियम सेंट्रल दिल्ली में रखते हैं तो लोग आएंगे, अच्छा ऑडिटोरियम है, वहाँ से वो प्रॉब्लम आएंगे लंच करने के लिए, डिनर करने के लिए, तो उनको एक इंप्रेशन है. सो 7-8 years बैक, 10 साल पहले तक वो ऑडिटोरियम फुल होता था. देन धीरे 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 वो पेरेंट्स कम होते गए, और नाउ दिल्ली's parents think he knows everything. What we learn from these guys, he knows everything. Now we started using digital platforms for the parenting also. So they don't need to spend time, we don't need to spend money in booking the auditorium and go there. So we are using those platforms to interact with the parents, and we started guiding them about the child development and taking feedback, giving feedback. Second, now when we come to the child, what was your question? So when we come to the child, see, every child is accessing mobile phone, everybody is having a smartphone. And one day one child came at the age of 3 years, and I was sitting in my wife's office, Chandigarh office, you know. So I was sitting there, and एक बच्चा आया, मैडम मेरा ये फोन नंबर है, I have my personal mobile number now. Toddler, 3 years of the age, the parent gifted a mobile phone to that child, and now the child has his own personal mobile number. So when the parents are giving smartphone to a child at the age of 3 years, so why don't we teach तो स्क्रीन टाइम की जो बात हम लोग करते हैं, that is very ridiculous. उसका कोई फायदा ही नहीं है. When the parents is not restricting their children from the screen time, then how can we? So we have we have developed maybe 5 years back, 4-5 years back, we have developed we have converted our content, what we are teaching grade wise, into augmented reality application. So for a small period of time, maybe 3 days in the week, for half an hour, we are having augmented reality class. In that, the children can experience the live objects in their class in their home. So they enjoy. So whatever the child enjoys, they retain it. और हमने पेरेंट्स को भी उसका एप्लीकेशन का डाउनलोड कराया कि बच्चा जब भी गेम खेलने के लिए बोले आप यही खोल के दो आप उसको, he or she will enjoy and he is learning indirectly, and we can assess how much they have learned. So that is the only thing. We should not use so much of technology in education, but we can initiate. We cannot take the children away from the technology, because the once they go to the technology school, हमारे अपने यहाँ के स्कूल में आते हैं बच्चे जब, तो उनको एक्सेस कर रही है, so we cannot take it away. So we can use we are using on the screen, interacting with the parent and with the children.
All right. So Amol, this brings me to you, because you also work in the early space. Now, what Dr. Rathor was mentioning about the challenge of parents giving in gadget too early. WHO says screen time इससे कम होना चाहिए. सारे forums पे सब लोग बोलते हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी का कम एक्सपोजर दो बच्चों को. पेरेंट्स खाना खिलाने वक्त भी गैजेट दे देते हैं. Right from the childhood, before the even child comes to you, how do you think we as people can solve this problem of this communication gap or misunderstanding of parents' expectations vis-a-vis school responsibility? Responsibility किसकी है? स्कूल की है या पेरेंट्स की?
Hello. Hello. Yeah. I think this is a society problem where our mobile phones are used as pacifiers today. And we see children who are coming at the age of 2 to our schools who have a British accent. So I ask parents, आप Britain में रहते थे? कहते नहीं, बच्चा Peppa Pig देखता है सारा दिन. So the child is watching Peppa Pig and speaking with a British accent. Children are getting delayed language development because earlier in joint families, children would communicate with older siblings, cousins, chachas, bachas, सब साथ पलते बोलते थे, they would observe and copy. Like for example, when children come to a preschool, one of the fastest development that happens is the language development by copying other children. तो बच्चों का zero exposure है, there are no siblings, single kids today, and only a mobile phone as their. So they are not digital natives, they are digital orphans. बेचारों पास कुछ नहीं है इस टाइम पे. It's a very sad state. Now, do we be reactive? I would differ in saying that we should not be reactive and say कि आप कर रहे हैं तो हम क्या करेंगे. I think it's our responsibility as educators to also guide parents as well to how to take and it is something serious as well. They also look at kya kare fir, because parents could be lage hue hain. These algorithms, these companies like Facebook are spending more on psychologists to hook people onto their apps, more than the developers. The whole business is how much you can get a guy on Insta, on Facebook without going to the other app. Yahi karta hai bas non-stop. So as a population, we adults are also helpless. It's highly, highly addictive for all of us. अभी 2 मिनट बोर होंगे, सब लोग यही शुरू हो जाएंगे. Give a break for 5 minutes, सबके हाथ ऐसे चलने शुरू हो जाएंगे. तो बच्चों को क्या ब्लेम कर रहे हो, पेरेंट्स को क्यों ब्लेम कर रहे हैं, हम खुद भी ऐसे हैं. So I think we need to be more aware. As schools, we understand the logic. We are educators. We need to educate ourselves, educate the teachers, because teachers को मोबाइल फोन क्यों लेते हो आप स्कूल में? Because teacher भी यही कर रही होती है. So everyone's doing it. Why blame only the poor parents? बेचारे वो तो first time parents हैं, 1 साल का टॉय आ गया, उनको कोई मैनुअल नहीं मिला और चलाने का दे दिया हमने गैजेट. तो बच्चा भी तो एक नया टॉय है उनके लिए, and they don't have any experience. So I think we need to be more sensitized and limit when it comes to schools, as you asked. I think it should be very limited, especially in early childhood.
Very limited. And yes, Amol, I want to share a personal experience of mine. Last year I visited Japan, the Fuji Kindergarten School, which is one of the best kindergarten school in the world. Trust me, zero technology in that school. Japan, zero technology. And we asked them, they had analog switches. They had no sensors, nothing, because they say, वो तो जिंदगी में बच्चों को हर जगह मिलता है. School में, when we want the cognitives to develop, let us invest our energy in them too. Because, and also, like Indians, I was crossing the road just maybe a meter away from the zebra crossing. This teacher stopped me. Please go back, please go back. Of course, Hindi में नहीं बोला था, English में बोला था. And she said, go back and please follow this. I said, ma'am, but how does it matter? I mean, just out of curiosity. No, children are watching. That's the line she said. Children are watching. So that country is what this country is because they have those values. And probably if today, this collaborative approach of parents, school, and all of us for that child who is going to be the future bread earner and the contributor to the Viksit Bharat can only do that. Now this brings me to a quick round because we have just 4 minutes left. So I ask one quick question to all of you. The question is going to be common to you all. You need to reply to this. Imagine, an audience, please imagine, you have the education minister sitting here. They are the people who are going to decide digital literacy, our core competency, the way forward. What if you become the policy maker? If you are the decision maker, what one decision or maybe more than one decision would you like to take so that in next 10 years or maybe by 2047, whatever the opening remarks of all our people in the morning session was, and we are able to achieve that dream of a very progressive society, the most developed economy in the world. So let me start with Dr. Sneha.
Coming to the technology aspect, so first of all,
You are the education minister, so behave like an education minister.
So what is much required is to make the students to learn first of all read and write and speak. So that is the first thing. And later the technology comes, as you said about the example of Japan, that is what is required. So when they are very perfect with writing the alphabet of every language, we were talking about in the morning about the three-language system, what is introduced from the NEP. So what is the essence of mother tongue? So all has to be taught to the student, and then the technology comes. So where the technology comes is, as they understand the concept first. Concept, as it was said in the morning also, to be taught in the mother tongue so that they understand what it is. So that is much important. And later, coming to the technology, from computer we have come again into the AI world. So AI is a platform wherein they can just think of much more for tomorrow as well. So this is the technology, but it has to be more secure first of all.
More secure. Thank you, Dr. Sneha, because out of time, Dr. Rathor, one policy decision, education minister.
I would be appointed as education minister by the public. Yeah. So then I will, in my first order, I will sign an order where any digital device would be till grade 2, no digital device should be there.
No digital device up to grade 2. Fantastic. I move to Manju ma'am. How about you?
So very difficult decision because NEP 2020 is here and it talks a lot about digital literacy. So when I was thinking, I thought I can bring in social emotional learning, integrating SEL with digital competency. I think it is very because
SEL with digital
yeah,
competency.
for me that's
I think
very
that's very important. Praveen.
One policy decision that I would take would be making it mandatory for all higher education institutions, all engineering colleges. During summer internship for 2 months, every student should take care of one school and help upskill teachers in the schools.
Lovely. Now, Amol, you are the education minister.
I am good. Finally, Napura. I would make digital literacy a mandatory subject across subject lines from class 3 onwards. Yes, I'm English पढ़ाते हैं ना all subjects. Not from technology again. Start with the people, then the curriculum, then the devices. Devices can come at grade 6, I would say, around 6. Then children should have a personal device because जो आप इंडिया के बारे में बात कर रहे थे ना, in India, where devices, a child having a mobile phone at the age of 2, there 10th में एक मोबाइल फोन 4 लोग शेयर कर रहे थे, वो भी जियो का टूटा हुआ डिवाइस. So I think every child needs a device at the age of 6. So I would say, I would do the hardware photograph ER1 activity when children are 6 and give each child a personal learning device.
Personal learning device for every child. Wonderful. Friends, this brings us to the end of this panel discussion, and I think the way forward is a collaborative approach between school leaders, parents and teachers. We need to invest a lot in our teachers, and we should have a fantastic plan of action to ensure that we become frugal in our approach. We identify the open source softwares, and they are going to be used by all the students because we have to prepare our children for the world it is and the world it will be. Thank you very much to all of you for an excellent participation. Thank you so very much. Thank you.